What's up, everyone? So it's been a hot minute since we've updated you. As you can tell, there's a big check up on the wall. That video probably came out before this one. If not, we won Titans 10-5. I don't know if I'm going to put this video out. We got drag week coming up, so I might put drag week out first and then go back, but depends on how much time I have. And depends on how tonight goes. So we raced last weekend, or the weekend before at Titans, took last weekend off. I'm getting the car ready, so I drove it Saturday, a local car show, got some ice cream, came back, and this radiator was puking. It was dripping out of, I think right over here, it was dripping out of this, one of the, where the core attaches to the end tanks. So rather than like trying to cut this off, re-weld it, I just bought the exact same radiator, which I don't really want to do because I'm not a huge fan of that with how much it ballooned. It did have a good amount of boost to it from a lifted head, but that's beside the point, I guess. But as you can tell, it's pretty flexed out. The sides are bulging, unlike this one, which is pretty flat. So I just bought the same radiator. I got the tabs made up. I just need to weld them on. I didn't want to cut these off because it's a pain in the ass. But I got to move the sensors. I got bungs coming. Ran out of bungs, of course. Always happens when you're trying to do something. Well, I was going to change the oil because I wanted to cut the filter apart and just make sure all was good. I noticed a little bit lower oil pressure. When we went to Gateway, I had to make my last test pass, or my last license pass, so we could do drag. Well, I noticed on the way back, after not doing a pass, I would get like 45 pounds of oil pressure, which isn't low, but it's low for this car. Based on what I know doing Rocky Mountain Race Week and all that, I know it'll get down to 35, 40 if it's really hot, like when we're doing Rocky Mountain Race Week, because driving through the mountains and the oil's hot. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna cut it. So, and don't mind the messy workbench, but this is what I got out of the filter. And then if you look in this filter, there's little pieces of copper down there, as you can tell. So, with a dilemma before Rocky Mountain Race Week. Do we drop the pan and check the bearings? Do we run it? For my peace of mind, I'm going to have to drop the pan and check out the bearings. There's just no other way around it. I would not feel good about the whole car the whole time. So if I drop the pan, I can pull some rod caps off and look at them, make sure they're all the bearings are good. If not, if bearings aren't good and the kinetic rod journal end is good, I can slap some bearings in it and really not be a huge deal. But I want to check that over. I don't think I could sleep at night knowing that. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pull the pan off and just go through everything, make sure everything looks kosher. And yeah, we got our last Saturday Night Street Race Point race coming up this Saturday, and tonight's Wednesday. Not great. Not good. So we're sitting at like 17th in points because we go out first round. It's like my kryptonite is that track. Maybe not the track. It's not the track. It's kryptonite, obviously. Got a big check up there. It's Saturday Night Street Race. I draw some heavy hitters first round and go out almost every time first round. So trying to avoid that this weekend, but as you can tell, we're getting down to the wire, and I got some bearings to check out. So I'm going to get to it. All right. So I thought I'd do a little update on current situation. I've been busting ass last night. I was out here till like 12:30 and got up early this morning, got started on it. Thanks to everyone, all the guys and Taylor in the shop, letting me work on this during the day. I appreciate it a lot. So I pulled the pan last night and found let me show you guys, that'd be easier. Found this. The thrust bearing completely toast. See how this side's good? This side's not good. Unfortunately, it ate the crank also. So luckily I had Andrew gave me a free LC9 sitting over there. So today basically stripped that block down and got it all torn down. Everything's sitting over here, stuff under the car. So I'm currently putting pistons back in it, but we swapped cranks. I went and got some bearings from Keegan, which I greatly appreciate, and got all of the pistons and crank out of that other LC9, which is way dirtier. You know, these ones are really nice because they've been slinging around in nice oil and methanol. So we're putting the dirty ones in it. So when I pulled the pan, I found that bearing, and then I found, let me find a good one here. I forget which one is. So you can probably tell that one. There's a really good one. I just gotta find it. I think it might be this one. Nope, not that one either. Oh yeah, here it is. So as you can tell, it's got a slight bend to it. So what we suspect is the converter is there's too much fluid going to it, which makes it very tight. And with how hard it's coupling at like 6,500, it's just lugging this motor down. So we're gonna have to run with the dump valves all the way open to get through that, and then we can taper it off. But to keep that motor alive, we're gonna have to keep the dump valves on. Obviously this is not ideal because we had drag week. Got drag week in a week. We gotta be at Gateway, which is a local track, so we're only an hour away, but we gotta be at the track on Sunday, and today's Thursday of the week before. So trying to make a race Saturday so we can get some testing in. This motor should be fine. I don't know how long that rod's been bent and the piston's been cocked in there, but we've been having a lot of blow by, clearly, obviously, which I guess should have been an indicator, but I didn't really think of that being an issue. With the blow by, I knew the rings were loose, but I didn't know that was because the whole piston was cocked in there sideways. So I'm put back together now. I'm putting pistons in it, and then I should have the motor and heads back on it tonight, and then I can stick it in tomorrow, or I might be able to get it all the way done tonight and then stick back in tonight and then do all the accessories tomorrow, and then we should be able to. So I give you an update. I didn't really do much videos because this is pretty much all I've done all day. So yeah, I hate doing that. I hate working on this stuff during the day. But I don't know. I guess my vacation. I guess I'm taking a vacation day today. So yeah, keep you guys updated. Hopefully we can get this one started up and go racing Saturday. going on, everyone? So figured I'd talk and drive while we go pick up the motor. Today is Tuesday, 6 days before drag week, or 5 days before drag week. So we, you guys saw me pulling the motor out last week. Wednesday night, I found some junk in the oil and in the filter, and thought it'd be best just to go ahead and pull it out, check it over. So I pulled the oil pan off, checked the mains, and the thrust bearing was just absolutely trashed. So it had gotten into the crank, and then I found some bent rods. So I had a LC9 that Andrew had given me. So I pulled the whole rotating assembly out of that. Ordered some bearings, went and got bearings. Mind you, this was 2 days before our Saturday Night Series, our last one, and we were sitting at like 17th in points. So we had to make top 16 to race for the 10 grand in October 1st, which is really not that far away. So we put it back together, went to the track Saturday night, didn't really get any videos, nothing impressive happened. Went for a first test pass, it spun, kind of weird, but I don't know if the track was fully there, what I thought it was. Pulled out a ton of power, pulled out like 3 degrees, went from 12 pounds on the leave to 8 pounds, and I think that was it. And went up and shattered the tires in the first round against Blake and lost. So when I was looking at the logs, I noticed that the oil pressure didn't climb, so it hit 40 and just sit there. So that was weird. So it didn't really climb. It hit 40 on the trans brake, and then at idle it'd be 40, and then down track it'd be like 50. So that's not what I wanted. The old motor, the one with the thrust bearings issues, would have 80 to 90 down track. So I knew something was up, and we really don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of time to be digging through a motor, especially when I don't build them all the time. I'm not good at building motors. I just put them together because I've never really had the money to have someone put my stuff together. We got a really nice chassis because obviously we build chassis. So I'm not a trans guy, I'm not a motor guy. So I went ahead and took the whole thing to Dustin, who is a really good engine guy, really knowledgeable, and he's only like 20 minutes away from us. So I put the whole thing in the back of the truck Sunday, took it to him. I told him basically I want everything checked. You don't have to assemble it, like I can assemble it, it's not a big deal. So that's where I'm currently headed. Apparently on the old motor, the number 1 and number 8 rod caps were backwards. Not backwards, were swapped. They were completely swapped. So I don't ever, when I take a motor apart, if I'm taking a motor apart, I take it out one at a time. I push the piston out, put the cap back on. Push the next one out, put the cap on. So there's never any chance of it being mixed. The only chance is when I go and put pistons in, I put 1 and 2, I take 1 and 2 caps off, but I put them in order on the bench, and then I put those on like they are. So 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, companion cylinders on the block, or on the crank. So somehow 1 and 8 got switched. I don't know how. I don't know if maybe someone took that motor apart, and usually on cracked cap rods, like stock rods, I can tell when it's not right, because it clearly lines back up and it's clear that it's not right. Well, on those I didn't really notice it. I noticed one had a small gap, but I didn't really think much of it. I was pretty tired and putting the motor together. Well, that was the issue, and that's why it gave us a low oil pressure. I had like 8 thousandths of clearance, so I'm sure it's just dumping all the oil out there and not really gaining oil pressure. So yeah, that's how the past week has gone. So I'm going to pick up the motor now. I'm going to put it together tonight, have the motor together, and hopefully put it in tomorrow. I have to go out of town Thursday and Friday, and then and Saturday's really the only day we have to like prep the car. So a little bit of a time crunch again. As always, I don't know what it is about Dragon Drives, but it seems we always have the motor out the week before. We're trying to fix that for next year, getting a little bit more reliable. We're going to do a stock block deal. It's a LC9 block, good crank, rods, pistons. So that way we can, you know, barring any abnormal issues, we can make some passes and be reliable without having to stress about, are we going to hurt it? So we're going to go to Dustin's, pick that up, and get it back. All right, so the motor is ready to go back in. Dustin hooked up on the machine work, went through everything, holding the cylinders, made sure everything was good. We dropped it off Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, and then he got it back to us Tuesday night. So that's a huge help for us. I appreciate Dustin's work, and he'll be getting the next motor build because he's extremely knowledgeable and really good guy. So got it back. Mark's bringing over the engine hoist currently. Zoom in. He's been stealing it. Going to drag week, and he's over there using the hoist.
We got work to do.
Hey, it's like 6 o'clock. This is after hours. So this thing's pretty much ready to go in. Yeah, took it off. So we used, Mark's dad had a one of these lift hoist style deals, so we were able to pull everything out the first time, so which made it a lot easier. So pretty much all we have to do is attach to the trans, put it in there, headers and wiring. That's about it. So a lot easier than pulling it with a lift plate. I like the lift plates, but not more than getting it done quickly. So hopefully we can get in tonight. Waiting on another fitting and an oil temp sensor bung. Gavin welded that in today. So that way we can monitor oil temps. But other than that, we're kind of down the last minute. I'll be out of town tomorrow and Friday, so that only leaves Saturday to get the car running and make it Sunday. So cross fingers. Hopefully all goes well. Yeah, checking with you guys in a little bit. All right, it's Drag Week 2022 prep in full swing. So you guys saw the video putting the motor back in. So it's the second time in a week it's been down to bare block. This is not ideal for this situation, but it's in and it should run fine. I'm gonna start it up tomorrow morning, make sure it idles, does all the fun stuff it's supposed to, makes oil pressure, because that was the issue. So yeah, tonight I'm just getting kind of working on some stuff. Mark got the trailer somewhat ready. He's got tools in here. We'll go check it out. So we are bringing a scooter this time because Mark was tired of walking. Got the tire mounts, so they fit. It's obviously got the street tires on it now. We downsized a lot of stuff here. So I went and picked up a small generator so we can fit all 3 fuel jugs in there, and the filler neck with no issue. In the back, I think he's got tools. This is all spares. The spark plug change, all that stuff. Over here, he's got more tools. This is kind of our go bag. This is stuff that we need on the daily. He's got his cooler up there. So we are packing way lighter this time, which I'm excited for because we had way too much stuff last time. I don't know what else he put up here. I just got home from out of town. Got our radio, some electronics, the tire inflator. So yeah, way lighter this time. So yeah, I have to do some stuff on the car. Like I said, I gotta get it running, but I have I gotta put the diaper back on, I gotta put oil in it. I have to put a new temp sensor on it. So I got that from Motion, which I believe is here somewhere. And yeah, there they are, rev sensors. So I got a new high temp rev sensor and an oil temp sensor so we can monitor that. So I gotta Gavin put the bung in for that, and then I have to I'm either gonna re-tap or figure out something for that because it is, as you can tell, I stripped out the plug, the little clip that is in there is broken. So I'm gonna take that out. That one's only a 300-degree sensor, so we are getting close to that. So putting in a 500-degree, and then I believe that's it on that end. Hey, shout out to Motion Raceworks for the AN wrenches. Pretty slick. And if you look at the price of other AN wrenches, these are about on par. So super neat. Other than having a metal table, they go together pretty well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna get working on tonight, and probably get it wired up, get those 2 sensors put in, and then start it up tomorrow. I think that's about it. I was gonna retorque the heads, but I don't think we're going to. If we notice something, we might retorque it on drag week. Try not to, but I think we might. We're gonna try doing a sealed engine setup. So drag week does a sealed setup. They do sealed engine, sealed hood. So sealed hood, you can't take the hood off the whole week, which is impressive if someone can do that. Mostly street cars, more streetish cars than that car. Then they have sealed engine, which they seal. I believe they seal the intake to the head, and then valve covers to the head, and then head to block. And I think that's it. So we're going to try it. I mean, there's no hurt in giving it the old college try. So if we have to take the heads off, we have to take the heads off. It is what it is. But we're going to see if it works and see if we can get the fastest time on that. So I'm going to get to work, get those sensors in, and catch up with you guys later.